way. How many of you give things in your life countdowns? Anybody give their life a countdown when it comes to particular things? Vacation, do you give it a countdown? Anybody? Are you awake? My people awake here? Yes. Give vacation a countdown. How many of you are counting down the days until Christmas? No? I mean, next month, I'm sure Hobby Lobby will have Christmas decorations up. There are Halloween decorations out already. I was in Michael's yesterday in my store, and they did have Halloween decorations out. But my fellas in the room who are looking forward to some college football, 70 days till college football kickoff. Come on, somebody, right? Others of you are like, no. But 193 days until Christmas. Just throwing it out there. Some of you are like, I did not want to hear that. My students in the building, 22 days until summer camp. My interns are like, oh no, we got 22 days. But some of you are counting down the days until retirement. Some of you already living your best life in retirement. But there's things in life that we give countdowns to. And one of the things that I gave a countdown to when I was a youngin' was I would give a countdown to my wedding day. Did any of you give a countdown to your wedding day like this picture? A couple of you, yes. Y'all don't want to participate. Come on, I need you. Lean in. But I gave my wedding day a countdown. Like there was even this thing called the Knot, K-N-O-T, which some of you are familiar with. Ladies in the house, they're shaking their heads. Yes, they still utilize it. But man, I'll never forget seeing that countdown on Facebook, and it would get, shorter and shorter and shorter, and I got more and more and more excited, because sometimes countdowns are amazing, other times they're not. But when it's all said and done, we all come with a countdown. Every single one of us this morning, we come with a countdown. We all come with a number. If you got an Uno card this morning, would you wave it in the air like you just do care? This is your Pentecostal fan this morning. Come on. All right? How many of you got a number on your card? Got a number? We'll talk about that in a second. But some of you got a number. Others of you are like, I didn't get a number. Hawks, you're going to have to explain this. I'll explain that later. But we all come with a number. We all come with a countdown. And if we all come with a number, and if our days are numbered, we need to make each day count. If our days are numbered, we need to make each day count. Because I thought of playing a cruel joke on you and telling you to keep them face down. Because we don't know actually how many days we have. And I thought about, let's unveil that at the end, and some of you would be like, I have 2 days, I only have 7 days. But we all come with a countdown. But we do not know that number. So will we make each day count when we don't even know the number? If you have your Bibles with you this morning, would you go with me to the book of Proverbs? I'm just making sure y'all are awake. We're going to be in Psalm 90. Some of you are like, that was so last year, Proverbs. If you're joining us this morning, you didn't know, as a church, we began June 1st, Summer in the Psalms, and we have these reading plans that are available in the front lobby. We would love for you to grab one of these, follow along with us in the Psalms. We're just asking you to read 2 Psalms a day. Man, how hard is that, right? 2 Psalms a day. Some of you are like, it's pretty hard when you get to Psalm 119, Hux. It's going to get hard, okay? But Psalm Somewhere in the Psalms, get one of those. I'm going to be in Psalm 90. I'm going to read one verse. Is that okay? If it's not, I'm going to do it anyway. Psalm 90, verse 12. Still hear some shuffling of pages. I think we're there. Psalm 90, verse 12 says, teach us to... Y'all got to help me out this morning. I'm about to make y'all stand as I read. Ready? Here we go. Teach us to... number. Here we go. Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. I'm going to read it again because it was so long. So let me read it again. Teach us to number our days aright, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. We all come with a number. We all come with a countdown. Here in Psalm 90, we find out this is a prayer of Moses. Some of you are like, I thought all of Psalms is just about David. No, we have Moses in here, all right? We have a prayer of Moses right here. If you don't believe me, go to the title of Psalm 90 and you will see this is a prayer of Moses. This is what they believe to be one of the oldest Psalms in the book of Psalm, all right? Psalm 90 right here, Moses is praying and he says, teach us to number our days. Because many of you know my love for cats. But we're not like cats, and we don't have what? 9 lives. We only have how many lives? 1. That's all we have. We've got 1. So Moses in here as he's praying, he's like, God, allow me to number my days. Let me give my days a number. Some of you already been wondering the whole entire time, Hux, I'm really creeped out. You have a skull on the table. What is that all about? Well, I want to tell you what it's about. Monks back in the day in the 17th century, what they would do when they went to pray and they went in the monastery is they would take their Bible, they would take a journal, and they would take a skull when they went to spend time with Jesus. And some of you are like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, I get the Bible thing, I get the journal thing, but why would they take a skull? Well, they would take a skull and put it before them because they wanted to remind themselves that life is short. Time is precious. We could be here one day and gone tomorrow. So when I heard that, I immediately jumped and put it in the Amazon cart and I had it shipped to my house. And my wife is like, why do you have a skull coming to the house? And I thought it was a great conversation starter, so there might be a skull in my office, not in the house for now on. Anyway, teach us to number our days. Like, why do we need to number our days? Like, why is time so important? Because what you do with your time truly reveals what matters most to you. Like, if I were to look at your calendar this week, if I were to even look at your day today, I'd be able to see what matters most to you. And if we don't manage our time will manage us. Like, we have to manage it. Like, Chrissy and I have this rhythm of life that we do. My wife and I have this rhythm of life that we sit down every Friday morning and we map out our week. Like, we have to be intentional with it. We have to make sure date night gets in there. We have to make sure, man, are there any games on the week? Because we want to go see students play games and different stuff. So, like, we will map out our week. But do we live like we have unlimited time, or do we live like we have limited time? Because I think sometimes we live as if we have forever. We don't live as if, man, I only have 7 days. But what would it look like if we lived our lives like they were numbered? Because there's this old saying, y'all help me out. Time what? Time flies. Some of you had other things too that were great. But what I was getting at, time flies. Used to have people say all the time, the older you get, you'll realize that time flies. It truly does. It flies. I still haven't seen a clock with wings. But anyway, numbering our days isn't about panic. It's about purpose. Like, I'm not telling you today to number your days for you guys to panic, for you guys to have all this anxiety, like, what am I going to do? But I really believe when we give things numbers, when we number things, then we live our lives with purpose and not panic. Like, when you know vacation is in 10 days, you begin to live purposefully at the office that you're trying to get things done because you know you're about to take a week off of work. When you start realizing, hey, I'm about to get married in this many days, you start living your life with purpose to prepare for that wedding day. When you start living your life with purpose, you live it differently. That's why Moses is like praying and he's like, God, like, teach me to number my days. Teach me to. I just want you to think about this for a second. How would your choices change if you would have woken up today and you realized you had 10 days left to live? If you woke up this morning and you knew that you had 10 days left to live, how would that have changed your morning, your day today? Just want you to sit in that. Because I think many of us live as if I'm going to live until I'm 85, 90, 95, you name it. And we don't think that we could only have 10 days left. We do not know. So if we don't know, what are we putting off until tomorrow that we need to do today? Like right now, today, without any hesitation, like, I know I need to make that choice. I need to make that decision. I need to do it. Like, we have interns in this summer, and sometimes they might get mad at me, but I'm like, hey guys, we got 22 days until camp. You guys are in the office only another 9 days. And I'm reminding them of that so that, man, it's about, we're going to have some fun this summer, but two, man, we got to get cracking. We got to get busy, okay? See, when we number our days, we're not lazy with things, but we give things more urgency. That's what we do. We're not lazy about them, but we're going to give them more urgency. But maybe some of you this morning, how many of you got the reverse? Who got the reverse? Anybody get the reverse? All right, we got a reverse. See my reverses. Y'all keep these, by the way. I don't want these back. Y'all keep them, all right? This is my gift to you. Happy Father's Day, all right? So we got a big budget, all right? Reverse. Because some of you, don't we wish sometimes we could go back in time? You know, if I could turn back. You know, share? Anybody? Yeah? Younger people in the room's like, is that a hair product? Like, what is that? Anyway. But sometimes we want to turn back time, like, can it just be like July 14th, all right? Someone's already messed up. I think they've already gone ahead a month, all right? Can it just be June 14th? That's what I want it to be. Can I just go back a day? And can you? No. No Back to the Future people in here? Okay. What about any of you get a skip card? Yeah, a couple people. Don't you wish you could skip some days? Yeah, I thought I'd at least get about 100 amens on that one. There's some days that I wish I could skip, but the honest realization is we can't skip them because there's things that God maybe might want to teach us that we still can make those days matter the most, even when we want to skip them. Listen, I get it, the reality of even some days, like I say, you want to go back and change things, and you might not be able to. Dad's in the room, you're like, man, I wish, I could change that, what I did. No, you can't change what did in the past, but maybe you can change some things that you're doing in the future. Maybe some of you got the shuffle the hands. Man, let's just swap hands. Man, if I could just swap lives with someone, my life would be so much be easier. Some of y'all think that. But I'm here to tell you, you can make each day count no matter the card that you've been dealt today. No matter the card that you've been dealt, you can make the day count. You can. Can't skip days, we can't go back, but we can make them count. So Moses is praying, teach me to number my days aright. Then this is what he says, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. There's something that we can gain through this. We can gain a heart of wisdom because wisdom comes from perspective. Wisdom comes from perspective. We need his perspective. Some of us don't need more time, we need more wisdom, because if I gave you more time to make each day count, you wouldn't necessarily handle it the right way. But if I gave you a short amount of time and I gave you more wisdom, you would handle your days better. See, wisdom isn't automatic. It comes from divine instruction from Jesus. It's not automatic. Where are we getting our wisdom? Because wisdom isn't just knowing facts, it's what's knowing what matters most. That's what wisdom's all about. Hey, what matters most today? What matters most in this conversation? What's going to matter most tomorrow? God, I want to gain a heart of wisdom. What matters most? See, your time with them matters more than your time at work. My dad's in the room, I want you to hear that. Your time with them, your time with your kids matters than your time at work. No one ever says, like, man, I wish I had more time at work. No one ever says that. Your time with your spouse matters more than the money you might make. Because sometimes you'll end up making all this money and you missed all the time that you could have spent with your spouse. Are we being wise with how we spend our time? Here's something to think about. Are we investing our lives in things that matter in eternity? Are we? If we realize that time is short, that time is precious, would we spend it more on things that matter in eternity? Would that change our perspective when we go to the gym, when we go to work? Would we have conversations that are more about the kingdom and less about things that don't matter? Would our conversations change with our kids? Would our conversations change with our spouses when we start actually having conversations about things that matter in eternity? This is what I want my girls to know. I'll sometimes go in, I'm coming home from the gym, and my girls had just gotten up from school. I'll go in to check on my oldest to make sure she's awake, and she normally always is awake. But I'll go in to check on her in the morning, and there she is with her Bible open, the Bible recap open, spending time with Jesus. And I always make it a point when I open up and I catch her doing her quiet time, I'm like, Brooklyn, I am so proud of you. And even when she'll see me sometimes, I'm trying to stage a photo because I'm so extremely proud of her, I'll even take a picture of her and I'll put it on Instagram, because that's the thing that I want to brag on her the most about. Even during the week sometimes, I'm like, guys, we're going to get ice cream this week. We're going to get ice cream because you guys just spent time with Jesus. Because what I believe, all right, what gets celebrated gets repeated. But I want her to know there is no greater joy than to hear that my kids are walking in the truth. That I want them to continue to invest in eternity. See, their walk with Jesus matters more than their batting average. Their walk with Jesus matters more than their GPA. But what if sometimes we spend the most time like, no, like you've got to make the A's, you got to put that in. No, like you've got to go to practice this, you got to go practice this week, you got to go practice that week, you got to go, no, like let me pay for this, let me pay for that. And how much money are we investing in the life of our kids when it comes to eternity? If that's what matters most. What are you doing today that's going to matter in 10 years? What is it? What are you doing right now that's going to matter in 10 years? What is it? This is what Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 says. Paul will write, he says, be careful then how you live. Not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Are we living as people who are wise and not unwise with our time? Are we making the most of every single opportunity? Are we going to make the most of every opportunity when we go to lunch today, aka brunch? Are we going to make the most of that opportunity to tell that waiter, that waitress about Jesus? Even though, dads, it is about you today, but how can we get it off of us to point people to our Heavenly Father, who it's all about? How are we going to make the most? If you knew you had 10 days left, man, you would capitalize on that opportunity when you sat down at lunch to tell them about Jesus. So this is what I know. We all come with an expiration date. Any of you can't stand when you got a thing of milk in the fridge and all of a sudden you go to get some milk and guess what? It's expired. Some of you are brave people out there. Y'all drink milk the day or two after. Stop doing that. Y'all have got to stop doing that. I'm that guy that sometimes I'll throw it out the day before. Because listen, what matters most, okay, is me wasting 25 cents compared to me being sick for a week. Y'all feeling me? Yeah? Some of you are like, I get you, Hux. Others of you are like, no, you wasting 25 cents. All right, if it comes down to that in your house to prevent conflict, I will Venmo or Cash App you 25 cents. Okay, I am here to help this morning. But there's nothing worse sometimes when you go in there. It's happened to us a couple times when just life is busy and I go to get the ground beef out of the fridge and I'm like, man, it's expired by like 5 days. And I'm like, I just wasted that. And what I don't want us to do is Jesus doesn't want us to live wasted lives, but he wants us to live lives that we can have fulfillment, that we can have satisfaction in him, knowing that we live for him, because only what's done for Jesus lasts. If today was your last, some of you are dealt a 0 on your Uno card. If today was your last, would God be pleased with how you are going to live it today? Would he? If today was your last. Because it's hard to live a wasted life when we live for Christ. And what I really believe is when we don't know how many days are left, we won't wait to make things right. I get personal for a second. Some of you need to have conversations with some relatives that you've been putting off to make things right. Some of you, maybe you have some people in your life that you need to forgive, that you keep putting off, that you need to make things right. Maybe some of you need to make hard calls when it comes to working too much in the office, need to work less in the office and make things right, because that's what's being so damaging on your marriage. There's going to come times in our life, in seasons of our life, that we have to ask ourselves, man, would we continue to do this if I knew I had 10 days left? What matters most. We need to gain a heart of wisdom. We need to number our days because life is short, death is sure, sin is the cause, and Christ is the cure. Some of you are waiting to surrender your life to Jesus, and I'm here to tell you today is the day. Some of you are here and you keep living your own life, or you've wandered from Christ, and I'm here to tell you today is the day to come back to Christ. But let me end by telling you this. Today's message is not a call to anxiety, but it's to awareness. It's to live awake and not asleep. It's to live on purpose, not accident. It's a reminder that life is short, time is precious, wisdom comes from God. We aren't promised tomorrow. How will we use our time? Knowing it's limited, not unlimited. You only get one life. Will we live it for what matters in eternity? Will we make each day count? Because today could be the day of salvation. Today could be the day that you decide to forgive that person, that you don't carry that guilt any longer. Today could be the day that you come back to Christ. Today could be the day that you restore that relationship. I'm here to tell you our days are numbered and we can make each day count. What would happen if we didn't wait till tomorrow? We didn't put off tomorrow what we could do today, because everything can be done today. Can be. Today can be the day. Don't wait till tomorrow. Make each day count. Let's live like Moses lived in his prayer in Psalm 90 verse 12 that says, "Teach us, Lord, teach us to number them, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Because we don't want to waste our days. We don't want to live wasted lives. We want to live lives that matter in the kingdom. Let me pray. Heads bowed and eyes closed this morning. Maybe you're here and you're that person. You don't have a relationship with Jesus. You don't know where you would spend eternity. You don't need to wait any longer. And you're here and you'd say, "Hux, I need a relationship with Jesus." You could be sitting in the balcony, the back row, the middle row, no matter where you are. Today could be the day of salvation. And if you're here this morning, you want a relationship with Jesus. He tells us in his word, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Would you call on him right now in this moment and say, "Jesus, save me. Jesus, I need you to forgive me of all my sins. I believe that you died on the cross for my sins and that you rose from the grave. Save me today." Head still bowed and eyes still closed. If that's you today, just want to celebrate with you. Do me the biggest favor in the world and just raise your hand. I just want to celebrate with you. Whether you're in the balcony, you're below, today was the day of salvation for you, that you gave your life to Jesus. See one hand. Anybody else? Anybody else? Say, "You know what? No, I need a relationship with Jesus." Maybe you're here this morning, you know there's someone that, man, you need to forgive. You just want me to pray for you this morning. If that's you, if you just put your hand up and put it right back down. Man, see more hands. See them. Maybe there's a relationship that needs to be restored. If that's you, if you could just put it up, put it right back down. Just want to pray for you. Maybe you're here and just, man, calendars not focused on and what matters most, and you want me to pray for you. If that's you, if you can put your hand up, put it right back down. See you. Jesus, this morning I especially pray for that one that we know there's more rejoicing in one sinner who repents than 99 righteous people who already know you. So God, I pray for that one. God, that they would let myself know, they would let somebody know at guest services know. God, they would let somebody know today was the day that I gave my life to Jesus. But God, I pray for that person even who's here who knows, man, I need to forgive them. I'm tired of carrying this guilt. God, I pray that you would restore that marriage. God, you'd restore that friendship. God, I pray we'd begin to look at our calendars and make sure we're prioritizing the things that matter most in eternity. God, that we wouldn't wait to have conversations with people because heaven or hell is in the balance. God, you just called us to be your mouthpiece. God, you tell us, do not be afraid 365 times. But God, may we even do it when we're scared. God, but I thank you for how you're going to use each and every person's life this morning. God, we love you. Pray all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.